Welcome to Hannity. Tonight, another bombshell new report surrounding New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. According to late-breaking news tonight from the New York Times, Cuomo's associates waged a smear campaign against his first accuser, the first of seven, only days after her allegations became public. So is Andrew Cuomo going to be held accountable by the I Believer caucus? We'll bring you that important update straight ahead. We'll also have full coverage of the growing crisis. It is a crisis. It's real on our southern border, where 4 suspected terrorists have been arrested while trying to cross illegally into this country, including 3 individuals from Yemen. Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy will be here with an update. And unlike Joe Biden, who doesn't even seem to realize there's a crisis, McCarthy actually visited the border. We'll show you some of that videotape. But first, with razor-thin majorities in the U.S. House and the Senate, now Democrats are attempting to implement what will be the single largest, biggest power grab in modern American political history. As we speak, there is now a full court press to abolish the legislative filibuster in the United States Senate. Look at what Joe Biden just said earlier tonight in an interview for ABC and Georgie Stephanopoulos.
I know you've been reluctant to do away with the filibuster. Aren't you going to have to choose between preserving the filibuster and advancing your agenda?
Yes. But here's the choice. I don't think you have to eliminate the filibuster. You have to do it what it used to be when I first got to the Senate and back in the old days when you used to be around there. And that is that a filibuster, you had to stand up and command the floor. And you had to keep talking alone. You couldn't call for, no one could say, quorum call. Once you stopped talking, you lost that, and someone could move in and say, I move the question of. So you got to work for the filibuster.
So you're for that reform. You're for bringing back the talking filibuster.
I am. That's what it was supposed to be.
Now, well, Joe wants to make it harder for the filibuster. Most Democrats want to do away with it completely. They know that this socialist utopia vision they have for America is insane. They know their radical bills will never get the 60 votes needed to clear the filibuster-proof majority in the Senate. So now they'll just change the rules. According to the top Democrats, we're now hearing tonight the filibuster is incredibly important when Republicans are in power. But now the Democrats are in charge. It must be abolished and abolished immediately so that they can just pass anything and everything they want and ram it down the country's throat. Take a look.
What about that nuclear option, doing away with the filibuster?
Well, I can tell you that would be the end of the Senate as it was originally devised and created going back to our founding fathers.
Today's filibuster is often used to prevent the Senate from even starting to debate important ideas. It's not the guarantor of democracy. It has become the death grip of democracy.
I said, let's not do the Supreme Court. We should have 60 votes, which we still do, because we should get bipartisan support. We hope our Republican colleagues will work with us to produce that change. We will try to get them to work with us. But if not, we will put our heads together and figure out how to go, and everything is on the table.
The point is, we still left the 60 votes in place for the Supreme Court. Would you bring it back? And Mitch McConnell changed that. I would prefer to bring it back. We are where we are, and now I don't think anyone's going to want to hamstring themselves.
I favor getting rid of the filibuster. I think we have too much we have to do for this country.
Amazing what a couple of years can do when you're in charge. Here's what you need to know about the Democratic Party. It is filled with now the most radical, far-left individuals of any major political party in modern political history. Their only real principle is power over everything, over the Constitution, over the Bill of Rights, over the rule of law, over basic fairness and justice. They want one-party rule. They want it in perpetuity, forever and ever. Now, their plan to achieve this goal does consist of 3 main parts. Number 1, kill the filibuster. Number 2, pass H.R. 1 with a simple majority. That's the bill that would expand voting to convicted felons, eliminate all voter ID whatsoever laws, automatically register everybody in the country, and expand massively mail-in voting. In other words, H.R. 1 creates an election system way more susceptible to fraud and abuse and ballot harvesting, a dreamlike scenario for this modern power-hungry Democratic Socialist Party. Make no mistake, the bill is not only unconstitutional, it federalizes the implementation of elections. It usurps the stated power given to state legislatures. That is reserved for them, and that's where Step 3 comes into play. They want court packing, and as we predicted, top Democrats now want to expand and then pack the U.S. Supreme Court and lower courts with far-left activists who will rubber stamp their radical agenda. In late January, less than a week after getting sworn in, Joe Biden started a commission to figure out how to get all of that done. That would be a doomsday scenario, not just for the GOP, but for the entire country. One party, Democratic rule, always ends in with the same results: higher taxes, more poverty, rampant corruption, broken promises. Oh, and they want to make D.C. and Puerto Rico a state, so they think they'll have 4 Democratic senators added in perpetuity. Look at New York, look at New Jersey, look at Illinois, look at California, because that's what they want America to look like. And fortunately, you, the American people, you can stop this from happening, especially if you live in West Virginia or Arizona. Those 2 people right there, 2 Democratic senators, Kristen Sinema, Joe Manchin, they have recently come out against ending the legislative filibuster. Those 2 senators follow through with their promise. The filibuster will remain in place, the very one Democrats were demanding, or else it would destroy the Senate. But unfortunately, Joe Manchin looks like he's beginning to buckle when pressured by New York's Chucky Schumer. So if you're from West Virginia, if you're from Arizona, you might want to call, you might want to write, you might want to email. I suggest you be polite, but let your voices be heard. Because once that filibuster is gone, the party that puts power over everything, they will now rule life pretty much forever.